Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to be back here. Like, you guys have no idea. And I can't even explain how excited that I am, but you see the smile? I think you should explain it. I am back for you guys now. And hopefully I can keep up with this because my new life is a little bit here and there. If you're seeing this beautiful, gorgeous girl for the first time, my name is Favor and I am a YouTuber based in New York. Happy Mother's Day to every mom, every expectant mom. If you're a mom in any sense of the word mom, happy Mother's Day to you. I hope that you have a beautiful celebration. Please try to sleep in if that's what you want. Go to the spa if that's what you want. On a date, dinner, whatever it is, but get spoiled today. From the topic, you can already see that today's video is a birth story. I put it up on my Instagram asking for what video you guys would like. The first ranking was the birth story. So you guys are getting a birth story today. I'm telling you guys all the tea. I don't have clips from that day because oof, it was crazy. Hopefully my explanation is enough to give you a visual representation of how that day went. If this is something that you're interested in, grab your popcorn, grab a snack, and come let us gist. So everything started after I went to my doctor's appointment. She checked me. She said, you're not dilating at all, but I think she said 70% phase. As far as I was concerned, and once I heard you're not dilating at all, I was so sad. I heard that it usually takes a long time. You can be 1 centimeter today, and it will take about a week for you to get to 10 centimeters or for you to actually go into proper active labor. I was like, if I'm not dilating right now, I don't know when I'll start dilating. I was just so tired. Wait, in case you don't know, the last few weeks or the last few months of pregnancy are usually so exhausting. They give you a space of 40 weeks before your due date. I didn't want to get to 40 weeks. I felt like 40 weeks was such a long time. The baby is full term from 37, 38 weeks. I was like, once my baby is full term, I want to have my baby. I don't want to keep carrying my baby to 40 weeks. That's just too long. At some point, because I lost a lot of weight during my pregnancy, which is a completely different story for another day. But it's also my testimony, and I would probably leave a link so you can go watch that testimony on my Instagram. But I lost a lot of weight based on the fact that I wasn't feeling well during my pregnancy. My doctor was very worried about my weight loss. She had scheduled a scan for me and I had to go in for it to check the baby's weight and be sure that the baby was growing fine. When I got there, they were like, oh, your baby is already weighing almost 7 pounds. My baby is not even due yet. I was so scared. I was like, God, I'm going to have to push out a big baby. Oh my God. I really wanted to go to labor because my baby is already big. I was feeling the cramping, the tightening of the stomach. I'd already told her and she said it wasn't anything. And after that, that's when she checked me and said I wasn't even dilating. A few days after, I started to feel something like tighter, but it was still the same kind of feeling, but just a little tighter. And I was like, yeah, I called my mom and I told her, she said, Mama, when it starts, you would know. Mommy, I'm feeling like, she said, trust me. When labor pain comes, nobody will tell you that that is labor pain. Because I really was worried. I can't tell when I'm having contractions because I've been having serious tightening, but how do I know when it's contractions? So if you're like me, if you're in my position, let me just tell you, when labor pain comes, you will know for sure that that's labor pain because it will be completely different from the tightening that you're feeling, which is like the Braxton contractions. On the third, Baba and I were kind of playing around, and I had this pain. I'm trying not to laugh, but it's not funny. It's not funny. Forget that I'm even laughing. I'm just laughing because of how I hooked on that day. I remember clearly I couldn't move. I froze. Yo, that pain was real. I'm like, no, no way that this is even contraction. Let's not think about it because there's no way anybody can go through this kind of pain. It's not possible. Let me go check up on our hospital bags to just be sure that everything is packed up. I packed everything that was left. And while I was packing, that pain came again. I was like, yeah, this is contraction pain. This is contraction pain. It was so painful. I don't know how to explain, but it was so painful. I had prayed for a painless labor, painless delivery, everything. But clearly, I wasn't having it at that time. And maybe because God wanted me to share the story, whatever the case may be, I didn't have a painless labor. I didn't have a painless delivery. It was painful, very, very painful. And honestly, before the whole labor thing, I feel like I couldn't tolerate pain at all. I would usually do something weird. I know. I would pinch myself and I'd say, "Ah, even just pinching myself is so painful. How can I take labor pain?" Every time that they would draw my blood, since I was already someone who was so scared of needles, I would check, like just check myself to see if I can tolerate the pain. And I actually kept getting better. Like that was how I was training myself to handle pain. I was wasting my time. Let me just say that right now. I was wasting my time because labor pain and needle pain is nothing, like absolutely nothing. So I felt the pain again and I just told Baba that, yeah, I need to go take a shower and then we'll be on our way to the hospital. Got to the hospital, I had to be placed on IV fluids, obviously, because I was pregnant. And I was waiting for the doctor to come. So when the doctor finally came, doctor checked me and said I was only 1 centimeter dilated. 1 centimeter dilated with the kind of pain that I was feeling. I was like, well, because it's going and coming, maybe I would try to manage it. I would keep giving myself pep talks. I waited there for a while and then I wasn't really feeling it anymore. So she came back to brief me and leave. But when she came back, she was like, let's just check up on the baby before anything. She checked my baby. My baby wasn't moving. I don't know if I have exactly spoken to anybody outside my husband who was in the hospital and just like family members who had called me on that day. I was scared because my pregnancy, I'm sorry, my pregnancy had been so difficult. I had already been through so much during my pregnancy. She moved me to this side, moved me to this side, moved me, just kept moving me, and my baby was just there. I was so worried. I was so scared, but I kept saying, it's okay. Like, we're already at the finish line. The devil could not get me in the beginning. The devil cannot get me right now. That's why I just kept telling myself. So she checked me. She was like, we were about to discharge you, but we can't discharge you with what we've seen. We're still going to have to observe you. I said, okay. Right after she left, someone else came and briefed us about C-section. I looked at Baba. Papa was like, are you ready for C-section if it gets to that? I was like, anything for my baby to be alive. I just know that anyhow that today goes, it's the will of God. So I want a vaginal birth, but if God wants me to have a C-section, then that's perfect. I just want what God wants for me. After a while, she was like, what do you like to eat? And I said, I like Oreo. She said, okay, eat some Oreo. And when I had some Oreo, my baby jumped. And she was like, yeah, there you go. She was so happy. I was so happy because I was like, God, not again. It was still such a scary experience. I'm not even trying to undermine what God did there at all. I'm just not trying to get emotional. This is just like my birth story, and I really don't. I'm not trying to get emotional out here right now. But it was something. Anyway, after that experience, checked me and was like, okay, fine, the baby's moving now, so I would be able to discharge you. Only come back when your contraction is between 3 to 5 minutes apart. She checked me around 3 p.m. and I got back home around like 6 p.m. I laid down here, like right here where I'm sitting. I laid down here because I was so tired. I slept off around maybe 9, 12 midnight on the dot because I picked up my phone once I woke up. Something woke me up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just reliving my experience. It was so bad that I started complaining. Why would somebody have to go through this kind of pain? Like, how is it even normal for people to experience this kind of pain? This was me on this place. Bobo came close and he was like, can I hold you? I was like, yes. And he held me. He was just talking to me like, he's okay. And I said I was fine. When he first started, when he comes, I would scream for as long as it would last and I would stop. After a couple of screams, I just told myself that, okay, I can do this. Let me do this. I would hold myself when it's coming. I kept telling myself, you're strong. You can do this. With the way contractions come, right? You can feel it building up. you can feel it actually building up before it grabs you and you can't move. So when I felt it building, I was like, yeah, you can do this, you can do it. I was telling myself I won't shout, I would just hold myself. I know the funny thing is I would actually hold myself through like just a little bit. And the next thing is no scream. But when it happened like maybe 10 happened a couple of times, I couldn't scream anymore. Sometimes I react to pain like that. My body shuts down. So I couldn't scream anymore. She told me some things that you could do when you're feeling contraction pain, like hold the wall and tilt your waist. You can go on that, like run the shower. So that's what I did. I went there, I was running the shower. Honestly, it felt so much better. In there, I was even talking. Like I called my sister-in-law on the phone, and just being in the shower helped a lot, a whole lot. I was talking to her. She said, the fact that you can still talk through your contractions, yeah, you're probably like 4 centimeters, 4 5 centimeters around that. I said, okay. I'm still going to keep laboring at home because I don't want to go to the hospital and have to be sent back. I've heard a lot of people say that first baby usually takes a lot of time, which brings me to something that I want to say. Everybody's experience is completely different. There is no such thing as because it's your first baby, it will take you forever, to contract or to dilate. It's a lie. So around 3 a.m., Baba was like, you know what? I don't want you to keep laboring at home just in case. It's our first baby. Let's go to the hospital. We got out, it was raining a little bit, but I was still having painful contractions. Like, I can't overemphasize how painful contractions are, but yeah, they're that painful. I got into the car and we got there. We had to park and walk in. When we're walking in, because it was raining, Baba was trying to hold me so he could, like, help me into the place. Yo, I stopped because I hooked. He didn't know that I had even hooked because he was trying to walk in front and just create space for me. But when he turned, he saw me, he was trying to hold me to help me up. I was like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I was like, oh, sorry. Oh, so confused. Shout out to men. And people don't say this enough, but men actually go through pregnancy with you. At least in my case, my husband definitely went through pregnancy with me. He didn't go through certain things, of course, but he felt the impact of pregnancy. And I hope that we can appreciate fathers as much and celebrate Father's Day as much as we celebrate Mother's Day, because they're also a very integral part of this whole motherhood journey. Like, I felt so bad afterwards, but he was like, no, it's okay, I understand. I mean, he can't go through the pain that I'm going through, and he doesn't understand it for real. But he's seen that I'm going through something, and he just understood that I might act a little out of character because I'm in pain. And pain makes you react in ways that you didn't even think that you would. When I got there, I'm going to tell you guys, because I was still having a conversation, this lady thought I was joking. She was like, yeah, you're probably still like 1 centimeter. Because she checked my record and she was like, oh, you were here earlier today. I was like, yeah. She said, yeah. Why'd you come back? I said, because my contractions have intensified and they're like 3 to 5 minutes apart. She was like, you're probably still 1 centimeter because, I looked at her in my mind. I'm like, yeah, there's something wrong with you. Because I'm not screaming down this whole place. That's why you feel like I'm still 1 centimeter. The pain was much more than any amount of shouting I would have been doing at that time. After like a little bit of dragging of feet, she was like, hey, I'll let them check you though. She took me in, put me on IV, and they came to check me. Guys, remember I told you that they checked me on the 3rd at 3 p.m.? So now this was 4 a.m. on the 4th, and they came to check me again. They checked me and I was already 7 centimeters dilated. A whole 7 centimeters dilated. Checked me again. She was like, oh, well done, mama. You guys, I was happy because I just wanted to get it over and done with. And she said, yeah, you're ready to get a room now. So they got me a room and I went in. They had to check me again because it took a little bit of time. By the time they checked me, I was already 8 centimeters dilated. And at this point, even though I was in so much pain, I felt like I could still hold off. But the nurse was just telling me that she feels if there's any probability of me taking an epidural, I should just take it right away. I might not be available when I need it because there has to be a change of shift. Bobo asked me, do you need it? I was like, honestly, at this point, I think that I'm still, like, I can still take it, but I can't say about the next hour or the next two. Maybe I'll just take it. Little did I know, when you go through labor pain, nothing else is painful. Because I had heard so many scary things about the epidural, and I said I wasn't going to take it. When they put in the needle, I didn't even feel anything. Like, I didn't feel any single thing. I put it in. He had explained to me some of the things that could happen, and I had no idea that I could react to the epidural. The minute he was done giving me the epidural, it was a completely different situation. It was almost like everything got worse because I started itching. My body was itching me. It was so bad. It was, you know how the inside of your body is itching you? Like, if you're scratching the side, another side starts to itch. Yo, it was insane. I was like, I can't do this. No way. No, 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 no. Get this up. Like, no way. I can't do this. That situation just kind of let me know that I react to epidural, and sadly, very sadly, because no, I don't enjoy pain. So very sadly, I might not be able to take an epidural. Around 10, the doctor came in to check me, 10 a.m. on the 4th. The doctor came in to check me, and my water hadn't broken. But as he tried to check me, once he put his hand, my water broke. And he checked me, and I was 10 centimeters. I was so, so, so happy because I was done with that pain, or so I thought. I actually thought I was done with the pain. So the midwife came in, the nurses prepared, everybody just prepared for me, and I started to push. If you're ever worried about not knowing how to push, because I was, they would explain, they'll tell you what to do, and I promise you it's not difficult. And honestly, your body does most of the work for you. Like, your body would even tell you when to push. Your body does most of the work. I think it was maybe 5 pushes or 6. I don't know. I just know it wasn't a lot of pushes. I would wait for my contraction and then I'll push. Listen, the whole time I was pushing, I could not shout. You know how you watch Nigerian movies and they are screaming? I couldn't scream. I was in so much pain. I couldn't scream. I was looking around. Even my husband was worried because he knows me and he knows I'm such a baby. Like, this one is not even crying. She's not crying. She's not shouting. He was so worried. God just gives you the strength. That's the thing about God. I don't know how he does it, but he knows when to come in. He gives you the strength. He surprises you. Because that whole experience in the hospital, I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't think that I could do it. I really did not think I could do it. I kept pushing and they were like, "Oh, have you done this before?" I said, "No, this is my first child." And she was like, "Wow, you're really doing good." And they keep talking to you, they keep encouraging you. Then after a couple of pushes, she said, "Okay, hold on, breathe in. On your next contraction, push with all you've got." I'm Nigerian, for context. And I would like to think that Nigerians are really strong. When you tell me to push with all I've got, all I've got is a lot of power. I might look small, but inside me, when she asked me to push with all I've got, I pushed with all I had inside. And my beautiful, gorgeous princess was born. She came out head to toe. You know how the baby's head comes out first and they kind of try to tilt it, navigate a whole situation until the baby comes out. That wasn't it for me. But my baby just literally popped out completely. They didn't have to tilt anything, they didn't have to maneuver anything. My baby came out complete. And I'm just so grateful to God that I'm alive and my child came out healthy. I was so happy. I was the happiest person in this world. Like, my baby was out. Even though when I looked at her face, she didn't look happy, like the midwife. And I was wondering what was going on, but apparently it was because the way my baby came out head to toe. So she told me in a very weird way. And midwife was just surprised. I mean, I was following her lead. So she didn't expect that it would happen like that. She didn't even expect that I'll have a tear. The recovery after birth, I think that people should shed more light on that, especially for those who get a tear after birth. It is really, really, really bad. I'm so thankful to God. My baby ended up not even being a big baby. Even when they were stitching me, I could feel the pain so much that I even knew the needle she was using was curved. But in that moment, all that mattered to me was my princess. I held her and I kept saying, "My baby." I wish I have a video, but we were just so soaked in that moment. Like, we were just lost in the moment and nobody even remembered to pick up their phone. We were just enjoying it. Baba was just standing there looking and he said, "Can I touch her?" I was like, "Yeah, that's your child." Called him to cut the cord. So he cut the cord and he was just looking at me. And he took her. I held her for a while on my body and he took her. But throughout when they were stitching me, I had her on my body. I was drawing strength from her as well. I just kept saying, "My baby, my baby, my baby, my baby." That is one of the happiest days of my life. She made me a mom. Oh my god, you guys, nah, I'm not about to get emotional. Like I said, we're not getting emotional. It was such a beautiful experience. I mean, bumps here and there, obviously, but just generally, it was a beautiful experience because it gave me the most beautiful gift ever. And I just want to use the opportunity to say that God is amazing. The best thing that has happened to me in my life is the fact that I know God. Because so many things have aligned in ways that I didn't even think it could align just because of God. And I've escaped a lot of things that could have destroyed me, that I couldn't have made it out of. My baby literally would not be here. But God kept this girl for me. God just knew that He wanted to give me as much joy as I feel right now. The joy of motherhood is something that you can't explain. You can't quantify, you can't qualify. It's a lot, it's excess. Now, honestly, motherhood is really the hood sometimes too. Anywho, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Wait, I feel like I scared you guys during this story. So let me say something. If I could do it, you can do it. I was scared, confused. I could not take pain. Don't overthink it. Don't just go researching things. No matter what you research on, nothing prepares you for labor and birth. Absolutely nothing. It's only God that can prepare you for that. It's only God that can see you through it. Don't bother yourself. Just trust God and just pray. Be positive about it, and you would have a positive birth experience. My birth experience was definitely a positive one because God saw me through all of it, and we ended up healthy. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you're pregnant, I pray that God gives you the strength to go through with it. I pray that God gives you grace. I pray that God grants you a safe delivery. And for every mom out there, I pray that God continues to give you more strength to train your king or your queen. And I pray that God blesses all of us in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in my next video. Bye.